Well, a move from the Quebec government is aiming to improve access to healthcare for the province's English-speaking community. The CAQ government unveiling new funding for the Community Health and Social Services Network through a project called the English-speaking Patient Navigator Initiative. The initiative will act as a liaison between vulnerable English-speaking Quebecers and health and social service providers. Let's head over now to Christopher Skeete. He has got many dossiers in the Quebec government, including international relations, but he also is in charge of relations with English-speaking Quebecers. He's on the line. Mr. Skeete, Chris, welcome back to the program.
Good morning, Elias.
Let's talk about this initiative here. There's funding involved. Why do you think this is important here, this English-speaking Patient Navigator Initiative?
Yeah, what we're noticing is that there are gaps in some of the accessibility for English speakers, especially in the regions. Think of it this way, aging populations, persons who are elderly, who are losing some of their French, who are more isolated. Patient Navigator aims to accompany those people, having a resource that goes with them to their medical appointments, where required translates what the doctor is saying. And what we're noticing through the pilot project is that it actually improves health outcomes rather. And so this is great news for the English community. And I think it's good news for people who, don't speak French, and especially our aging population that lose their French. And so it's a good news announcement.
So how do you access this service? Just take me through that. This seems incredible that you're providing someone to go with, seniors to their appointments so that they can understand in their own language. How does someone access these services?
So, the English community is lucky to have access to different community groups in the regions. Every region has one or more community groups present on their territory. And what CHSSN is doing is they're partnering with those local areas, with those local community groups, and offering a resource, either part-time or full-time, to accompany people to their appointments, or to, bring them to meetings that they would not normally understand because of the language barrier. And so anybody in the regions, or everybody who is in the regions knows their local community group usually, and just reach out to them and they'll help you out.
Of course, and we've heard this from, your government, the CAQ government, many times when it comes to English rights and English access to social services. Healthcare, you've said it on this program, is right up there at the top of things that your government will guarantee for the English-speaking community. I want to add... Yeah, go ahead.
This is just one of those moments where we're actually putting our money where our mouth is. And in areas where maybe the healthcare providers don't speak English and it's not something that's available, that's what Patient Navigator does. It comes and bridges that gap.
So let me ask you about this. I was just speaking with Aaron Durfel from the Montreal Gazette. He's done tons of reporting in the last week about Santé Quebec. And one of the things he brought up to me that is interesting, and he's brought it up on a couple of occasions, if I'm thinking about, I'm an Anglo-Quebecer, and I want to go online and get information, right now, and I'm on the Santé Quebec website, there's no English. There's not even like a little button for English, and then the pages just aren't translated. It's not even an option. And I'm just wondering, listen, this initiative here proves you want to provide better access to healthcare, but something as basic as going to Santé Quebec, which is supposed to be that main resource, not translated yet. What's going on here, Chris? Because I'm disappointed here that we still don't have a bilingual Santé Quebec website.
Well, we don't live in a bilingual province, Elias.
But it's healthcare. Santé Quebec, it's healthcare.
So what we offer is anybody who feels that they need to have access to healthcare in their language can go to their local hospital and get the service. That's different from systematically translating all of government of Quebec's web resources. And that's the difference between what we're saying. Uh-huh. If you need a health outcome, if you have a health emergency, if you need help in terms of your medical services that you want to get, there are healthcare providers that are there to help you out and that are going to accompany you. That's different from systematically translating government documentations online.
I get that. And, again, if we were talking about permits for, fishing licenses, I'd understand. But it's healthcare, right? And again, it's sort of like, I think both of these things would go hand in hand, that just the Santé Quebec website for healthcare would provide some English documentation, English resources for those who maybe don't need a full-on translator to go to their appointments.
Yeah, as I said, there's a difference between getting a service when you need it and accessing a healthcare professional who can help you in your language, and systematically translating all of Government of Quebec's documents.
Okay, gotcha. And again, I'm not asking for all documents, but Santé Quebec, that's not going to change. It'll remain en français seulement.
They're following the law. Bill 96 says that the government of Quebec has to be exemplary.
Okay, let me turn our attention here to the leadership race from your party this weekend. We will find out who will be the next leader of the CAQ and who will be the next premier of Quebec. Yesterday, I took great interest to see 3 ministers, including Simon Jolin Barrette, back Bernard Drainville. Now, I know you have backed Christine Frechette. What do you think this vote is about this weekend? What do you think about the choices that CAQ members will make?
Well, I think it was a good day yesterday for Bernard, and, congratulations to him. And, having a party that has the vitality that we're talking about, for me, is good news. Having a leadership race has the ability to have, ideas being tossed around. Bernard has some, Christine has some, and this is our first leadership race. And so it's crucially important that we get it right. And we're looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. And of course, for those of your in your audience who are members, voting opens today. So you probably would have gotten a communication. You can go and vote today for the next premier, which is an amazing opportunity for CAQ members.
I've seen the polling that shows the Liberals and the PQ tied at about 33%. And the boy, that gives you flashbacks to previous eras in Quebec. For the CAQ, it seems to me like there's a determination being made this weekend. Do we go after the 33% that right now say they're voting PQ, or do we go after the 33% that say they're going to vote Liberal? Do you see it that way? The choice between Christine and Bernard is a choice about which voting bloc you go after?
To be honest, we're going after the bloc that says we're fed up of that discussion. It's been over 50 years in Quebec that we're always having the same debate. Whether you want to stay in Canada and you only have one choice with the Liberal Party, or whether you want to create a country and you only have one choice with the PQ, we think it's possible to be proud as Quebecers and wanting to protect the French language and who we are, and also have a party that's for the economy that wants to stay in Canada. So I would say no matter who you choose in our party, you're going to get that. I think people are fed up of that duality and of that conversation. I know I am.
So we've also heard from some MNAs saying they're not going to run in the next election. Let me just ask you for an update on that front. Does whoever wins the race this weekend, does it change your plans for running again come October and your future with the CAQ?
I am proud of both the candidates. I have backed Christine because she's the person that my constituents are telling me that they want as the premier. But that doesn't mean Bernard isn't an amazing individual and wouldn't make an awesome leader. So, no, it doesn't play any. Who is leader does not determine whether or not I will be there.
Is it a big happy family right now in the CAQ, regardless of this leadership schism?
Schism is a big word. We're trying to choose an orientation, and both leader candidates have a different vision, and it's up to members to decide which way we're going to go. This is normal in a democracy, and I think it's good for our party to actually be debating these issues. Don't forget, we have a founding father who created our party 12 years ago, and he's gone now. And so we have to sort of take care of the baby without him and determine which way we want to go. I see this as good news for the party and good news for democracy. And I think it's great that we're challenging ourselves with these ideas and maybe even seeing where we went wrong and trying to do that mea culpa that wins back some of the people that we may have lost.
What's the biggest difference you perceive and why you're backing Christine Frechette? What's one of those major differences or two that stick out about a different pathway that she'll take down the party?
I think for me, it's all about posture and calmness. I think we live in an era, especially internationally, where things are very complicated, very dangerous. We need somebody who is going to be thoughtful and deliberate in their actions. I think that's more casting that Christine has. Someone that knows the economy. I think that's also Christine. She definitely has more experience on the economy than Bernard. And I think we need to focus on protecting people's jobs and their wallets. And that's also something that Christine has dedicated herself to doing. So for me, that's why ultimately I chose Christine. And I think that's where the electorate is. I think the electorate doesn't want to be talking about these big identity issues. They just want us to protect their wallet. They want us to take care of their economy. And I think they want someone who's going to take the time to think of what the best way forward is. And that's basically Christine in the description.
Mr. Skeete, Christopher Chris, my old Dawson College buddy. Thanks for coming on today.
Anytime, Elias. Happy to be there.
Christopher Skeete is a minister responsible for relations with English-speaking Quebecers.
Unmistakably Canadian.
It's the music that raised you.
The artists raising the bar.
Hi, this is Bryan Adams.
Hey, my name's Brett Emmons. I'm from the Glorious Sons.
Hi, I'm Nelly Furtado.
Made in Canada. The station that champions Canadian music.
Loud, proud, and all yours.
No passports required. Just press play.
Tap into Made in Canada now on iHeartRadio.ca
Or the free iHeartRadio app.